Hi,
Hi,
I'm Nick,
I'm Jill.
and we're HipStrings. And I have not gotten a head start here. I'm actually behind a little bit. As you may have recalled from yesterday's podcast, Jill was not very happy with how
Your playback sample.
loose I was spinning. So I am actually respinning and adding more twist to the last 2 days, which is why this might look a little bit like day one. But I did just finish that, so now we are on the right path.
And I will open up day 3.
Which, incidentally...
Incidentally happens to what Nick was just putting more twist into,
yes,
which is Rumpelstiltskin.
That's what I did on my first day. So you said that was Rumpelstiltskin? You want to talk a little bit about that?
Rumpelstiltskin's one of our Merino Shetland silk blends. That silk is partly Tussa silk and partly Sari silk. And we have it in a bunch of different colors.
And for today, I got bag number 2. So
so you're going to be spinning what I was spinning last night.
I will spin what you were spinning yesterday. And I only had to dig one bag out in order to get that. Oh, I gotta change my order of bags now since everything is reversed ordered and everything.
Okay. I love that.
So, now you've got a head start, darn it.
Yes, a whole foot.
It's gonna make a difference because I'm messing with my wheel now. Because I think we should talk about how does one adjust things for such mistakes as what we were ribbing me for yesterday.
Yeah. So, well, the one that you spun first, which was the one you spun first tonight, which was the one you spun last night, did not have as much twist in it as your day 1 fiber.
And to cover for people who may not have been there yesterday, how did we discover that?
Nick did a plyback sample by pulling the single off of his bobbin and then just letting it, folding it on itself and letting it naturally twist up. And that gives you an idea of how much twist would be in a plied yarn if you're making 2-ply and a balanced yarn.
Okay. So, yeah, and...
So, but then when that needed more twist.
It was really big and fluffy and very soft.
Even though the single was almost the same wraps per inch as mine. So, like, his plyback sample was like twice the width. Because it had much less twist. So, he ran it back through onto a new bobbin. A higher ratio for the stuff that was low twist. Then he checked plyback on what he spun the first night. That had more twist in it, so then moved the drive band to a larger pulley, which puts in less twist, and then just, feed the single back on as soon as possible so you're not adding too much twist. If you absolutely wanted to not add any twist, you would just hand wind onto the bobbin and not necessarily even put it through your flyer.
Yeah. So, that is...
how you can fix mistakes with, not mistakes, but if you want to change the amount of twist in your singles before you ply, which much better do it before you ply.
Because you can't do it while you ply.
Can't do it while you ply, and then if you ply and you don't like it, then you have to unply, which is not fun.
Is that even a thing?
I know people who've done it.
That is epic.
They all regret it. So you can fix that amount of twist, change it up. You can take twist out. You can add twist by running through again. So. And
you keep it spinning in the same direction. It took me a good 30 seconds of staring at it and figuring, wait, do I need to untwist since I'm coming back off? No, you just keep it spinning the same way, so it's real simple.
Yeah.
I will pause.
If you wanted to remove twist, you would spin in the opposite direction that you...
Which, yeah, that's absolutely a thing you can do. I'll pause to say hello to everybody commenting. Hello, Cornwall Crafter says, good morning, friends, or good evening, or good day, or,
Well, that's Eve.
Yeah.
It's the middle of the night for her.
I know, but there's other. Okay. Hollis
Time is
says
irrelevant.
time is irrelevant. Time is. What does Gab say all the time? Time is a construct.
Yes, I forget.
Hollis says, so very sorry that I missed last night. For some reason, I couldn't find you guys any which way on the internet. I've already spun today's day 3. So
That's why you smash that subscribe button. And
yeah.
click for notifications.
And click the bell for a little notification, the ding for notifications, the bell on the subscribe, and hit that like button so that the algorithm also likes to tell you notifications. Oh
Yeah.
man, that was smooth, Jill. That was real smooth. It's almost like you've been doing this for like 3 or 4 years.
Oh, I've never talked about subscriptions or likes or notifications ever before this, I think.
Yeah, well, at least you've been doing podcasts for a couple of years. Emily says, unplying sounds like it would be a nightmare.
Yeah.
So
fix your mistakes early instead of being like, I can live with this. No.
I mean,
if
like,
you're noticing that there's a problem, fix it.
How bad does something have to be that you want to unply it?
Oh, I've had friends who've decided that they wanted to make a 3-ply instead of a 2-ply.
Wow. Wow. All right. Hollis says that Sorry Silk makes interesting little blips.
Yep.
Yes, it does.
That's why I use it.
And so this is one of those things that when I was spinning the first day, you may have seen me have like weird looks at every now and then. Just go with the flow, right? It's not one of those things that like my first instinct was like, oh, this is a slub. I gotta even it out or anything. Nope. It adds texture.
It'll work out in the plying.
Yeah, it'll add something really interesting to the plying.
Don't let it make big slumps. But
Cornwall Crafter asks, hey Nick, why was the broom late for the meeting? And I already read the answer, so I can't
I already
guess.
read it too.
It overswept. I love it. I've got a good one for today, but we won't get there yet. And then Hollis says, I've done all of that, of course. And then Emily says, honestly, at that rate, I would cut my losses and buy replacement fiber.
I like that. See, I would just be like, okay, this will find some use somewhere else, somewhere in the future.
Well, you could use it like the I mean, it depends on what the problem is, but it could be art yarn. Art yarn.
No. We are not calling poorly spun yarn art yarn. Art yarn is done with a specific aesthetic ideal in advance.
So how would you propose we address yarn that looks very similar to art yarn in some cases? I said in some cases. Oh my God, I've terribly offended you.
I'm sorry. People who make the really good art yarn.
Yes.
It takes some super spinning skills and control in order to be able to do that stuff.
Absolutely.
So going and taking something that's poorly spun without regard to like, good drafting methods or right amount of twist or this or that, and just labeling art yarn kind of does make me twitchy.
Okay. No, that's fair. That is a rightful statement. I apologize.
Thanks.
And I apologize to all the art yarn crafters out there.
Because I struggle with doing
good art yarn.
Good art yarn.
Yeah. Okay. So, but we don't. You also were hesitating against calling it a mistake, right? So, what sort of terminology can we make for yarn?
I mean, if you take a whole bunch of low twist singles, you can do like a super ply yarn, not a 2-ply.
What's a super ply?
Well, I just like 4+ plies.
Okay.
Because as you increase the number of plies, you need less twist in each single.
Oh, okay. Well, this is something very different that I've never even heard you talk about before. So, how would the number of plies that you are planning impact the twist that you make on it?
So as the number of plies increases, you need less twist in your singles for a balanced, like, to get the same angle of twist
Okay.
in the plied yarn.
To get the same angle of twist. All right, I got to think a little bit about that. So you're saying that because there are more bits of yarn together, they're going to have a larger radius spinning around each other.
Yeah,
and
because also remember a 3-ply and up yarn is more round than a 2-ply yarn. A 2-ply yarn lays flat.
Okay. So then in order to get the same angle of twist, because it is instead of like a 2-ply, which is more like a helix, it wraps itself, so it doesn't need as much twist in the single
to go around.
All right. So
if you are spinning something with low twist and you do want to ply it, then just up your number of plies if you don't want to add more twist to it. This is my argument that to do a good solid spun 2-ply with a good amount of twist will take you almost as long for the same as a 3-ply, because a 3-ply can be made with less twist. And it'll take less time to ply as well. But this is talking about making yarn that has like a 30-degree angle of twist in the plies.
Okay. So that helps if I didn't want to be stubborn and reply.
Chain plying would be better.
Stubborn, then it would have been better to chain ply. Okay.
Yeah.
Now.
Or you could leave it as a single if it has low enough twist.
Okay.
And then you just full it in the finishing process.
Okay.
So a little bit of felting action. So that gives it structure. And then you use it in something that isn't going to see a ton of abrasion.
Okay.
You can use it as weft and weaving. You can, in a cowl.
Not for me.
Not for you.
There's a little
cowls
bit of
for unbearded individuals.
There's a little bit of abrasion in cowls for me. Just saying. Okay. Now, what if you overspun? We were focusing a lot on underspinning the single.
Then you make a 2-ply yarn for warp. It's hard to overspin to the point. Well, okay, it depends on your fiber. You can totally overspin stuff like alpaca or other long wools, things that don't have a ton of crimp. You can totally overspin and you'll make yourself rope, like something that feels like rope.
Okay.
It'll be unpleasant.
It'll just be too stiff.
Too stiff. Too much energy in there.
Okay, I'm going to pause there and say, because you mentioned alpaca, and I know alpaca has the fact that it likes to stretch. Mm-hmm. I mean, do you want to add extra twist to alpaca than compared to wool because of that, or?
So part of that is you can ply it more. You can add more plying twist to it, and then but a more lightly twist single, because you don't have to make a balanced yarn
with alpaca.
With any fiber, you don't have to make a balanced yarn.
Okay.
Balanced yarn just means that you're, if you're spinning from like comb top, that all of your fibers are going to be still going parallel.
Okay.
In a balanced plied yarn.
Yeah.
But there are some times when you want to make an unbalanced plied yarn, and honestly, as long as it's not too crazily unbalanced, it's not going to bias in the fabric. Sometimes you can show up bias and stockinette. But like for weaving, you can have yarns for warp that are pigtailing on themselves and coiling back on themselves. And there's sometimes when you want that.
Because it'll add more durability. And
yeah.
Stuff. Okay. I know we're like 3 levels down, but we actually have some comments here. So first off, from way back, Cornwall Crafter says it's good to find someone who appreciates a dad joke. You're in good company here, of course. And also, would a low twist single withstand the friction of a chain ply?
How low twist are we talking? So, kind of what I've learned is that for a yarn that you would want to keep as a single, when you do a plyback sample, there should be an open loop at that fold. If that loop, if it's actually like flattened and it's not open, then it has enough twist in it to be plied.
Oh, but if there is an
But
open loop,
But if or
then,
it has too much twist to stay as a single,
okay.
and it'll bias.
So wait, as I'm doing this, like there's definitely no open loop at the
Yeah.
end of that, right? So you're saying that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think what we saw from me yesterday was definitely open loop.
So you're talking like less than a 20, usually like less than a 20-degree angle twist.
But when you have an open loop, is it going to withstand the friction of a chain ply?
Probably not.
So you want to get at least.
You want at least a certain amount for a ply yarn.
Emily says, that makes so much sense. I've never considered the change needed in the single when spinning a 2 versus 3 ply and wondered why my 2 ply always feels underspun. All right.
This is why I don't spin 2 plies. Or when I do spin 2 plies, I spend the entire time I'm plying cursing. Because I'm like, this is taking freaking forever because I need to put enough twist it. It doesn't help that I'm doing this with like fine singles that need a lot of twist.
Right now, I'm just imagining you being like the Dos Equis guy and like, I don't always spin 2 ply.
But when
I do, I curse the crap out of it.
Yeah.
Knit Spin Girl Creation says, I came into the conversation late. Could you keep the low twist single as a single if you lightly full it?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's the, finishing by heat shocking it, hot water, cold water, some friction, toilet plunger is useful. Not the one you use for your toilet. Get a specific Fiber Arts toilet plunger.
We have 3 plungers. We've got one for the toilet, one for the sink, and one for the fiber.
Yes.
Actually, we probably have more than one
Ghost.
for toilet. Let's see. Emily Witt says, I also don't enjoy 2 plies. I'm a 3 ply gal. And Cornwall Crafter says, could you talk to Ghost Yarn?
What's ghost yarn?
I don't know.
I need an explanation.
It's so scary. Yeah, so Cornwall Crafter, can you tell us what Ghost Yarn is? And in the meantime, there was something I was going to say and I completely forgot. Oh, so while we wait for that, okay, so we talked about overspun singles.
Yes.
Talked about underspun singles. Then the whole reason we got onto this track
Yes.
is somebody making a plied system, a plied yarn that they would even consider unplying.
Yes.
And I'm assuming that's like not the whole skein, but if they went to the whole skein and unplied the whole skein, wow. So what could you do with the yarn that you just don't like because it's overspun or underspun singles, but you've already plied it? Neglecting the whole like...
Swatch it.
Swatch it for
First wash it because it may change in the washing.
Okay.
Twist will move. What's really fun is if you have a little steamer.
Oh yeah.
Steam your yarn and you can watch like all the squiggles move and like the overspun areas will relax and like the twist will even out and like underspun sections will tighten up. Water is magic.
Well, there's a reason why they say that shit'll block out, right?
Yeah. So wash it, swatch it. I've had some really nasty yarn that was my beginner stuff, way overspun, and then I didn't use it, and then I eventually got around to it, and I'm like, oh my god, this stuff is like terrible. But I used like one for like something that was overspun for fingerless mitts or mittens. And oh my gosh, that stuff is durable. You know, it's hard on your hands to knit with, but it has a place. Just might not be what you thought it was going to be. Okay.
There you go. So we got the description from Eve now. I've heard the term used for the plied yarn made when the singles are so low twist they barely hold together when plying.
There are some commercial yarns that are like that. And they tend to break if you tug on them too hard. You know, there is a certain level of fulling can help that. It's going to end up being a very insulating yarn. It's better if it's longer stapled wools. So the like commercially milled stuff that's like that, there's like some Icelandic yarns that are like that. Icelandic has really long parts because it's a dual coated breed. And so it has things that help keep it together. So longer wools and stuff that has less crimp, but mostly longer staples, they hold together better. So they can have less twist in them. So it's not like there are hard numbers for angle twist for yarns. It really does depend on the fiber itself and the staple length and the crimp. So as you have more crimp, you need more twist to keep things together. And as the staple length gets shorter, you need more twist to keep it together. And that's just physics.
I would have thought that more crimp means less twist needed.
It's harder to get the fibers to interlock with each other.
Okay.
Because you actually need like the scales to hold on to each other.
As a person with curly hair, I totally get that. Because my hair will curl nicely when it's wet, right? But then if I run my hands through my hair at all once it's dry, they don't want to come back together, and I just end up with a poof.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So Colonel Crafter says, so a low friction item like a cowl could be made with that.
If you don't have a beard.
If you don't have a beard.
Nick has a cowl that Gab knit when they were like 5 or 6.
5. It was when they were 5.
When they were 5, that's made from a hand spun low twist single that I did not spin. We bought it at a fiber festival from another dyer. And made a cowl. And it's lovely, but Nick beard.
It is slowly getting slightly felted, but I do wear it when I've
You haven't always done the winter
freshly
beard.
shaven the neck beard.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we can talk all about my facial hair care mechanism.
Yeah.
But let's get to the comments first. So Leah says, I used my newbie overplied yarn to make a market bag for my mom.
Yep. Also great.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Because overplied stuff is really durable. And actually, I've heard you talk about purposefully wanting to overply things like sock yarn. Mm-hmm. Right?
Sock yarn really is with a strong twist.
Maybe not.
Close to the like 35, 40 for like a fine wool.
Maybe not as nice from a softness standpoint, but
right.
at least it'll last.
Right. Because less of each individual staple is being exposed to the environment.
And Colonel Crafter asks if I go frizzy in the damp too.
You go frizzy in the not damp without styling products.
I have enough product in there that it moves a little bit, but nothing's separating from it. So
But au naturel, you go frizzy in the low humidity.
I go frizzy by living.
Yes.
But yes, pomade, it works wonders. I'll just put it there. Yeah, and I will note for those of you that have only watched us on a Base 12 Spinalong,
Well, like the last.
they would think that I only have a beard.
Yes.
But I only have a beard in the winter. So
Yeah.
Jill mentioned the winter beard. I stopped shaving in November. I mean, I shave to groom it properly, but I grow my beard in November, and then I shave it off for Valentine's Day. So keeps me nice and warm.
And that's not because I dislike the beard. It's just Nick starts getting bored of it by February.
Yeah, it's really a gift for myself. Eva's saying long, wavy, curly hair here. I live in a coastal climate, and then face palm. Yeah, we're a little bit inset, being in Pittsburgh, so. Although I don't think we've seen the sun in.
Well, it's been weeks, I feel.
Yeah.
And tomorrow's going to be slushy and wet.
Is it?
Yeah.
I mean, they keep on telling me that it's coming, but.
The road signs were warning for winter weather
Really?
advisory in the morning.
Wow.
So slush in the morning. Reasons why I have a Subaru.
Yeah. I gotta see if I could work from home tomorrow. That'd be nice. Get some spinning and knitting in on meetings. I have to say, I have knit so many socks during meetings. It's great. Very productive knitting time. Don't worry, I'm not done. I'm just on my last third.
How far is our nearest beach? Salt water or fresh water?
I think you should answer both. Just because.
Salt water is probably, what, close to 5.5 hours? That would be like the Delaware coast.
Maybe? I thought it was longer, but yeah.
Yeah, probably almost 6. And freshwater beach, like a Great Lake, is about 2.5.
Yeah.
We are a bit inland here.
It's also the distance to the closest Wegmans.
Yes.
I think we talked about Wegmans in a previous podcast sometime.
Yeah.
We love Wegmans. She also says, Jill, I loved my Scooby. I don't know what that's a reference to.
I don't know that's a reference either.
Okay. Amy says, if lakes count as beaches, and I think they do, Lake Erie is about 2 hours from Jill. Yep. It's only the extra half hour because we have to stop at Wegmans for half an hour first.
Yeah. Pick up our picnic lunch.
Yep. We have the best Lake Erie plans. What we'll do is we'll get up and go and drive up to Lake Erie, stop by Wegmans to grab a picnic, and go to the beach, have our picnic, play at the beach until the sun starts going down, go back to Wegmans,
Have dinner.
get dinner, do some light grocery shopping,
Not light grocery shopping. Fill a cart.
fill the trunk,
Fill the trunk.
and then head home.
Bring coolers.
Yeah. Amy says Erie is 2.5 hours from her, so 2 from us. Oh.
No, but we've got to get over to oh gosh, what's the road that goes up there? Is that 70?
I don't know.
No, 70 goes that. I don't know. I forget. It takes about half an hour to get to the road that goes north.
Roads in Pittsburgh are not as the bird flies.
Oh.
And apparently,
Scooby. I did not know that Scoobies were Subaru.
in the UK, Scoobies are Subarus.
Hi, Red.
And
79.
Red is
Yeah, I
saying
know
hi.
it was an odd number.
Hi, Red.
It takes us about half an hour to get to 79. So. Pittsburgh driving times are weird.
We're just a half an hour from everything.
Unless you have to cross a couple rivers. but nobody crosses.
Nobody crosses more than one river in a day. Come
Amy
on.
crosses 2 rivers to see me.
Aw,
And Sam crosses 2 rivers to see me.
That's
And that's
real love.
That's Pittsburgh love. If somebody is willing to cross 2 rivers to see you.
All right. So I'm more confused about this whole Subaru is a Scooby thing. I'm really wondering why.
Can they go in water? Like.
I was thinking Scooby-Doo, but like it does not look at all like a mystery machine. I don't know.
I can't wait for it to snow because I love nothing more than when there's like 6 inches of snow on the driveway and like Subaru just goes straight through it.
Those are always fun. And we should probably also say congrats to Red because they, as they say, they may have been selected for a new job, so they've been having a bit of drama with that.
Ooh.
Congrats
I will have to find out
on
more.
The new
Congrats.
Job. Sorry for the drama.
Job drama is never fun.
No. I guess it's better than personal drama. But
Yeah, I just have to fill my life with. I mean, I have business drama. Fiber and not getting delivered or.
well, thankfully, all of that seems to have been sorted out.
Shh.
Knock on wood.
Take that back.
They knocked on wood. It's good.
I have.
The elves are handling it.
They've got a lot else to do right now.
No,
There's 2 boxes coming on Monday. So.
Yeah, and when we didn't talk about this the last 2 nights, and we keep on saying that we're
What?
going to talk about it on here. The
What?
shop closing.
Oh, yes. So, tomorrow's the last day to order anything if you want even the barest chance of it arriving before Christmas. That is USPS shipping deadlines.
Not our fault, sorry.
Not our fault. I will get it out in the mail on Friday. But for once, I am taking a break at the end of this year.
You're not actually taking
I'm
a
not
break.
taking. Okay.
You're just reducing your workload.
I'm reducing my workload by closing the Etsy shop and HipStrings.com from December 20th to the 31st, so that I don't have to worry about packing up orders and getting that stuff out, because that is, usually a couple hours of work every day.
But you're doing that specifically to free yourself
Up
up.
to do several other hours of work each day. So I need to do some pre-planning for things next year to make sure that I'm somewhat kind to myself and don't burn out. So I'm taking some time so I can do that planning.
You got so many things that need to be photographed. There's beautiful stuff you all haven't seen yet. Like the Nano, which they saw yesterday. Right?
Yes. There's many totes of dyed fiber and yarn that still need to get photographed.
Yeah. Huge tracts of land.
Yes. So, yeah, that's the only way I know how to turn down the dial right now. So that's what we're doing.
So yeah, get your orders in tomorrow if you want it in 2022. If not, our packages will see you in 2023.
Yes.
All right. Let's see. Cornwall Crafter says, I've spent several hours one evening pulling cars out of ditches with my Legacy, only to get stuck in a snowdrift at the bottom of the drive. Ooh. And Red says, and yes, Subis are the best. My gal is 23 years old and still going strong. Nice.
Yeah.
Coming up on 250,000 miles. And Red is giving you support for taking time off, so at least there's that.
Come on, you guys can all just spin your stashes. I know you have them. It's only like 2 weeks. You'll be fine.
I haven't been paying, as I've been talking, I haven't been paying attention. I'm making sure that okay. My angle looks good. What is that? What is that? Oh my God! No!
Yes! See what happens when you actually put a similar amount of twist
Hey,
as
you
I am?
started earlier than me.
I also took breaks to explain things to people.
And so did I. I took breaks to drink.
That's not explaining things.
Well, also explaining things, but mostly to drink. And Colmar Crafter says, Subarus are like zombies, they just don't die.
Oh.
I'm looking forward to the Subaru EV.
Well, the first one came out.
Is it out already?
If you can actually get a hold of one,
Yeah.
they have been starting to be delivered.
Nice. Because that's going to have some serious power.
Yeah, but I need my, like,
Range.
plug-in hybrid.
I know, you need your range.
I need my towing power.
We're not replacing it yet.
Because these people want me to, like, take fiber halfway across the country.
Yeah.
So they can see it in person.
Yeah. I mean, until we get the virtual reality shop up and running, oh my God, that would be such a cool idea. I don't know how you would.
Yeah, there's a lot you have to, like, beyond just visual.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Do you feel better now?
I do.
Okay, now you can do your knitting.
I feel vindicated. I have crochet, not knitting.
Okay. Colonel Crafter says, Nick, you're not as think as we drunk you are. Yes, right. Emily asks, what's your sweater, Jill?
My sweater is a Svalbard by Bristol Ivy in handspun CVM.
Nice. What was the handspun? Was that some of Ken's stuff?
Yeah. Oh, the fiber. Yeah, it was Ken. Big fluffy balls from Ken.
Yeah.
From Homestead Hobbyist.
And Red is also agreeing with you, by the way, that they didn't come out with an Outback plug-in hybrid.
Yeah.
And Red is clapping for you because you won finally.
Yep. See, Red shows up and I win.
She's your good luck charm.
Yep.
Well, you also, by the way, do have a woolly winder.
Shh.
You won fair and square.
This isn't the Olympics. We don't have to have like the same exact equipment.
No, there's no anti-doping?
Yeah, no anti-doping in Base 12.
Dope all you want. You heard it here first.
But only for spinning Base 12 competitively.
Oh, speaking of doping, you finally have the right lube.
Oh, yes. I should show my bottle of lube.
Yeah.
Let me not be doing a decrease stitch. Okay. So you can get this, and I've sold it before, but I don't really anymore because my source dried up. There are little, like, pens that have this particular lube.
It'll last for a long time.
And it lasts for a long time, okay? But I can find more, and I am a heavy user of this stuff.
Jill likes her lube.
So this is the super lube that I use. It's the clear stuff. It's a 4-ounce bottle. You can find it online. You can also find it in, like, auto parts stores and stuff like that.
And when she says super lube, it's actually called super lube. That's the
yeah,
brand.
that's the trademark.
All right.
And it's food grade.
Don't eat it.
But you only need a touch. So this 4 ounces, as long as I don't lose it, it's going to last a long time.
Okay, and then Emily says, by the way, the sweater's lovely. I'll add it to my queue. What are you working on now?
Oh, I'm just making like a ripple that cowl by holding a fingering weight yarn and a sport weight yarn together. And I'll make it a certain length and then seam it together, and it's a gift. Because crochet is the way to make quick gifts for people when you have shipping deadlines.
Hollis says that color number 3 went quickly for her too. So maybe that was part of it. Color 3 went quickly for me as well.
Yes.
That was the one where I finished the most before you. And that one I actually had good twist.
Mm-hmm.
So, as we wrap up, I've got my joke. So, you never played Wordle, right?
Sometimes.
You did? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, for those of you playing Wordle today, just warning, the word today is not easy. It's also not hard or difficult, because those aren't 5-letter words. Thank you for joining us.
Good
Have
night.
an excellent evening. We'll see you tomorrow.